Welcome back, Dodecadorks. We're the 12-sided guys. We have Scott as Ornan.
At your service.
Sabrina as Cilvy.
Oh, hello.
Jordan as Mawgrim.
You're most welcome.
Matt as Guy.
That's Guy. That is my name. Don't wear it out.
And me, Grimgall the Mighty, sower of dissension. Mwahaha! Last week, not only was I able to cause the party to split, but then I split it a second time. Mwahaha! Now, let's see what kind of dissension I can sow this week.
Okay, guys, I'm back. Hey, sorry about last week. I had an emergency and had
Are
to
you going
ask...
to cut one of us in half? You can cut the party in half. Now it's down to one. The only way to split it again would be to cut someone in half.
Well, the party was 6 people, so it split to 2 and 4, and then it split to 2, 2, and 2. Anyway, I had an emergency.
I was just thinking of us 4, sorry.
I had an emergency and had to ask Grimgall the Mighty, sower of dissension, to step in and run the session. I hope everything went well and not too much dissension was sown.
No dissension was sown by me.
Wait a minute. Did you sow dissension amongst the players last week? Grimgall the Mighty, sower of dissension? Get out of here, Grimgall. Stop sowing dissension.
I was going to say, though, Grimgall, second best guest DM we've ever had.
Well, hey, sorry about that, guys. Anyway, the reason why I needed a sub last week is because I was busy getting my plans squared away for this year's FanX in Salt Lake City. We're not sure yet if we'll have a booth, but one thing we are sure about is that most of us will be there, booth or not. And we'll be sure to do a get-together with all our Intermountain West fans like last time. Maybe some more karaoke? So come on to SLC September 26th, 27th, and 28th. One more thing, ratings and reviews are always appreciated, so hit that.
That's 2024, in case you're listening to this in the future.
Yes. And one more thing, ratings and reviews are always appreciated, so hit that 5th star on your podcasting app and drop a sentence or two about how great we are. We know you're already thinking it.
And we count them from the left to the right, so it's... all of them should be lit up when you hit that star. Yeah,
we know you're already thinking it, so put it out there for the world to see. Anyway, if you ever split your party at a pub because of a proposition and you ended up getting Excalibur, but then you couldn't actually use it, then this podcast is for you. It's Chorus of the Forsaken, episode 38.
I was actually thinking of the name Excalibur today, and I was trying to remember if that was the name of the fake legendary sword in the Soul Calibur games. But what's Excalibur?
Is this from Final Fantasy?
Which one? You're missing a keyword there. You're at the pub and proposition.
Is it Final Fantasy?
Prostitutes.
Oh man, I'm losing it. It's not.
Is it 12?
Is it one of the hot dancers from Final Fantasy 2/4?
No, it's Final Fantasy Tactics. You go to the bar and you get propositions, and then you send your party off to go get something. They're like, we succeeded. We came back and it was really hard. We got treasure. And then it shows a card that says Excalibur or machine gun. And it's like, cool, but you can't use it. It's just a card.
I forgot about that.
Anyway, yeah, that's splitting the party. Grimgall the Mighty. Now let's see if we can fix some things now.
He really does sow discord.
All right, well, last time we were together, wow, a lot happened. We had quite the conversation between our party, Wilhelm Associates, and their 2 allies, Annelise and especially Neldor Martin, the heir of the Count of Martin's Rest. Ornan decided that he had had enough with death and was going to bury all of the people who had been killed the week before, who had been killed in our previous episode by Cilvy's fireball and all of the other magic and action that took place. That was a terrible sentence.
Well, that seems really targeted, but all right.
200 plus damage spread across how many, like 9 enemies? That's pretty big.
6 enemies. It was 6 enemies. Got 200 plus damage. It was 36 damage per person. Okay, well, conversation was had. Ornan stood his ground, and his conscience would not let him continue on. He decided to stay back to bury the dead, and Cilvy decided to stay with him as the other 4, Mawgrim, Guy, Annelise, and Neldor, chased after the one bandit, the rogue who had gotten away. After about 40 minutes, they managed to catch up to him. They surrounded him, and they questioned him. After questioning him, they tied him to a tree and continued on to the fort. Some of the information that they got was about Megan, the woman who had organized the bandits. As our party, part of our party, continued on to the fortress, Cilvy and Ornan finished their laborious task, and Ornan shared a benediction and a eulogy dedicated to the dead from their battle moments before. Cilvy informed Ornan that she was going to follow Guy and Mawgrim, and Ornan decided he would go along with her to keep her safe, but he would not act in violence unless he was protecting his friends. As Guy, Mawgrim, Annelise, and Neldor investigated the fort, Guy decided that they all needed to take a short rest, creating a tiny hut in the shape of a turtle shell to gain some spells back. And afterwards, he cast invisibility upon himself and upon Neldor, and they sneaked into the keep through a postern gate that Guy was able to unlock after about 20 or 25 minutes of finagling with that lock.
I'm very good at picking locks.
As that was all going on, Ornan and Cilvy arrived just in time to find the bandit that the other party members had tied up, just about to finish loosening his bonds so that he would be free. And that is where we are starting right now. We are going to start first in the fort and describe what is going on. We have Neldor and Guy are inside of the keep, as Annelise and Mawgrim are outside with Spooky Lady watching from a distance. It is pouring down rain. It is dark. The clouds are clapping them cheeks of thunder clapping cheeks. There is lightning in the distance, and the rain is torrential. As Mawgrim and Annelise are outside, they can see a couple of figures walking upon the ramparts. This is a very small fort. It is just a little border fort. There is a gatehouse on the west side, and then 2 ramparts that go towards the keep on the east side. The keep is larger, but it is still not very large. As Guy and Neldor are inside of the keep, they are still invisible. They have just gone through the ground floor, which was full of bedrooms, and there was a storage room, and they had just gone up the creaky stairs, managing to creaky door. Sorry,
still creaky.
They had just managed to get up the stairs without making any noise, arriving in this main hall where they see 2 figures eating dinner at this long table. These 2 bulky, beefy brawlers. One of them, the woman, is very, very close to Guy and Neldor, only about 10 feet away. Her great axe set off to the side, and across the table, about 15 feet away, this is a very long, banquet table, is the man. He's got a great sword that is set aside close at hand in case he needs it. One more thing I did not describe last time. The floor in here is basically thrown together with scraps of wood. In fact, as Guy, you are standing here, you can look down through and you can actually see into some of these bed chambers. Not clearly, but you can see through the slats to the floor below where you just were. And as you look up, the roof is the same way. It is a hodgepodge of rough timbers and planks and scavenged wood that they have used to reinforce this roof. Rain is pouring in different places, and in this room there are actually from what you can see, 3 doors on the western wall. From where you're standing, you imagine that one of them, the closest one to you, leads to the northern rampart, and then there is a double door that is kind of in the center of that western wall, and then on the far side, just barely visible beyond one of these broken down walls, you can see another door which you assume must lead onto the southern rampart. You and Neldor are standing in here, and you are all invisible.
Yes.
And what are you going to do?
All right. So again, we're about 10 feet away from this, what'd you say, bulky, beefy
These
something?
These are
Bleach
two.
Bond, bad built, beefy brawlers.
Yes, these are bulky, beefy brawlers.
You know what? We'll just call them berserkers.
Okay.
They are wearing leather armor. They've got big,
I thought
great
they were
weapons.
wrestlers, a couple of BBWs. Sorry.
Big beefy warriors?
That's right. That's right.
Okay. I think it's really precarious. The floor looks like I'd be walking. Okay, so I've been playing a bit of Fallout 4 again ever since I watched the Amazon series, and the floor in here looks like every single settlement in that game.
Yes, it does. To be fair, I built this map before I started playing Fallout 4 again, but yes, it does.
Geez, I don't.
So what I'm saying is I did it first.
Oh, yes, you did.
Yep, no influence there.
Yeah, take that, Todd Howard. I don't know. I feel like if I even step on one of these boards, it's going to creak.
You feel a hand on your shoulder. You cannot see Neldor, but you know he is right behind you. You feel a hand on your shoulder, and it squeezes and kind of pulls you back down the stairs.
Okay. Will I have to make another stealth check to go back down the stairs?
We'll let you keep that. We'll let you keep that stealth check. You literally
and for a reminder, my stealth was 21.
Yeah, and Neldor's was I think it was 20. So,
okay, yeah, I'll slowly back down the stairs. Yeah.
As you guys back down the stairs, we are going to cut outside to Mawgrim, Annelise, and this spectral woman. Mawgrim, you guys are hiding in the bushes underneath some trees. The trees are kind of keeping some of the rain off, but it is pouring down. Annelise has pulled up a hood. You see that even though it is more plain than like the hoods and stuff that she would have worn as an acolyte or as a prelate in the temple of Aeona, this does still have, it is still like a black hood. It does still have a little bit of gold trim on it. It is still bearing the colors of Aeonan worship, but it's plain enough that if you don't look too closely, you wouldn't notice. As you're sitting there, Mawgrim, you see that Annelise is staring at this spectral woman who is just kind of floating as she continues to kind of gaze around the area and then glitch and then head kind of 5 or 10 feet in one direction and glitch, and then she comes back. It's not so much that her whole body glitches, it's just that her eyes and her face like change direction, and then she moves in different directions. But Annelise is watching this spectral woman, Mawgrim.
Can I roll like an insight check to see if she looks like scared or worried or angry or anything about this?
Go ahead and make your insight check, sure.
Sure. Okay. So, I don't know why I rolled with advantage. Oh my gosh, I rolled a natural 1 and a natural 20. I think technically you have to take the natural 1.
You get the distinct impression she is terrified of this spooky woman.
Okay, I will tell her, or I will speak to her. Mawgrim will talk to her. He's gonna say, "Are you okay? I get the impression that perhaps this is a bit off-putting."
She looks from the spectral woman to you, Mawgrim, and she says, Honestly, I'm curious. You, as a follower of Kalimvor, having been granted his power, and then she motions over to this spectral woman and she goes, What do you make of this? Because I can't figure it out.
Well, it is not pure undeath, but it is something akin to it. I don't particularly like this, but I can feel that its grasp on this prime material plane is not very strong, and so it will not last for long. And I have seen enough war and battle to not turn away an advantage if we have one. So while this creature does not exactly sit well with me, I am not willing to take action against it at this time.
She looks at you, Mawgrim, and she says, "Yeah, but this is necromancy, isn't it?"
Nothing wrong with a little light necromancy.
To me, it does seem to feel as though there are elements of undeath about this. Yes, I can't say that it is something that I am quite fond of. In fact, I likely should speak with Guy a little bit more about this and why this is something that occurs for him. I am not sure. There's so much that I do not understand about the arcane arts, and perhaps that is something that the research that I did in Bergevin indicated that there is some sort of a construct that overlays all of reality, that the use of the arcane is akin to tugging and manipulating at this layer, this energy that seems to cover all that we see, and that a rend or a tear may in fact be produced, which might allow for creatures of the beyond to pass through into this material plane for a time. I don't know if Guy intended for this to happen, but regardless, I take comfort in knowing that it is not a permanent thing.
Knowing Guy, you know that it was unintentional.
Well, and she says, "Yes, but..." She looks at the spectral woman again. She says, "Death, rising back, beget by death. She only came once someone died." She looks at you, Mawgrim, and she says, that reeks of foul necromancy to me.
Yes, I mean, it is not...
Not ideal.
Yeah, it is not ideal. I can't pretend to justify what's happened here. It's possible that as that life was extinguished on this material plane, it opened some sort of, call it a portal or a conduit into the more spiritual realm, and this thing slipped through temporarily. You're right, this is not something that we should be seeking after this power.
She stops and she just kind of continues to watch this spectral woman as you guys wait for Neldor and Guy to leave the keep. And we are going to jump now further southwest back to a small stream where we have Ornan, Cilvy, and the adorable Pranciful who have come upon this rogue. This man has been loosening his bonds and he is about to break free from his captivity, but he sees you, Ornan and Cilvy, and he stops moving.
Pranciful sees that he's been playing with the ropes and goes and plays with the ropes too.
Okay. Like a little tug-of-war type thing?
Exactly. It's a tug toy.
Yeah, this guy does not know how to respond to that.
I think we're on the right track.
This guy is sitting here next to the tree as Pranciful comes, starts tugging on the rope, and he's like, he watches Ornan and Cilvy. He stops moving, but he kind of whispers to Pranciful, keep tugging, get me free.
Pranciful's not helping at all. He's just pulling.
Yeah.
Principal, that's not good behavior.
It seems they showed a little restraint and didn't kill this one.
Yeah, although it does seem like he's making his way free a little bit faster than we probably would like.
Where are you headed, sir? If you were to get free, would you go up to the fort or would you go and head on home?
Oh, he's going to tell us the truth on that one.
He says, oh gosh, what does he say to that?
Bonk him, bonk him.
Okay, hold on for a
He just
second.
expects everyone to be as forthright and just spill the beans as he is.
That's a good question. There's like no guile in Ornan. Does he expect everyone else to be guileless as well?
I mean,
not like an expectation, but like he just doesn't even process that somebody could be deceptive.
Ornan hopes for the best in everyone that he interacts with.
I like that.
So as you ask him where he's going to go, he kind of watches you guys and he's like, I was going to go and quit. And I was going to go quit the group and I was going to go home and become a farmer again.
Picking those potatoes.
Oh, he says,
somebody's got to pick those potatoes, but make sure they're yours, not your neighbors.
Yeah, no picking your neighbor's potatoes.
We don't do that around here.
What he says
I love
is,
picking neighbors' potatoes.
Stay tuned after this episode for your neighbor's potatoes.
No, what he does say is he says, well, I'm not going to lie, I was on my way to the fort, but your friends, they caught up to me, they tied me up, and now I don't think it's safe for me to head that way.
I promise you it's not.
So honestly, I just need to get loose, and then I'm just leaving. I'm going back the way you guys came from, and I'm out of here. I'm done with this.
All right. I'll let you loose then. But if you follow us, I'll have to bonk you. But I won't kill you. I'll just bonk you pretty hard.
It seems like he's doing a really good job of loosening himself. Maybe we should just continue to walk on our way and let him do his thing.
But that looks like Guy's rope. I'd hate for him to forget it. We'll have to... I'll coil it up and bring it back to Guy.
He's like, yeah, please let me go. And he looks up at the sky. He's like, it's gonna get dark here soon. Darker than it already is.
Are you afraid of the dark? You seem a little bit old for that.
He's like, aren't you afraid of the dark? Out here in the woods? Alone?
Well, I'm not alone. I got the guy who's gonna bonk you.
That's true.
And a corgi.
Checkmate.
Touche.
No funny moves now as I'm untying this.
Okay.
Since I'm only one-handed, you see, I'll have to put my war pick down to untie you, but I'll hit you with the stump, and that'll hurt too.
Also, I have some tricks up my sleeve. Cilvy winks.
You see his eyes get big at that. He's like, yeah, I've seen your tricks.
Pretty cool, huh?
Remember your friends that are now dead? Pretty cool, huh?
As you finish untying him, he stands up. He takes a step or two back. He goes looks around himself for a second, and then you see him go to some bushes and pick up 2 short swords. And he puts them back in their sheaths at his waist. And he kind of puts his hands up, and he's like, "I'm going. I promise I won't follow you. I'm done with this."
That's good. Maybe you could turn to better, bigger and better things, and not hurting or stealing from people.
Potatoes, possibly.
Sure.
Honestly, at this point, I don't want to die a fiery death. He turns around and starts running away from you guys, back down the trail, back towards where you guys had the ambush.
He seemed a little dramatic, didn't he? What with the fireballs and the scared of the dark. Seems like he maybe wasn't cut out for the bandit life.
I legit had a fear that when you guys caught up to this guy, he was going to have already been eaten by a bear.
Oh God, that was terrible.
You didn't rub him with honey or anything, so he was okay.
Eaten by Pooh Bear, maybe?
Oh, I will say this too. As you are handling that coiled up rope, Pranceville is not leaving it alone. He's being kind of pesky right now.
Oh, Ornan's just playing with him as they start walking down the road. He's coiling it over his arm and,
leaving an end dangling, like kicking behind his heel so that the dog has something to go after.
Yep.
You figure, well, you don't figure, but you have about another hour of walking before you get to the fort. At this point, we are going to go back to the fort to Guy and Neldor. Guy, as Neldor pulls you kind of by the shoulder back down to the ground floor and underneath the floor above.
I heard back down to the ground and underneath him.
As he pulls you back down the hall to the ground floor. He pulls you down the hall a little ways so you're not right by the stairs, and then he whispers in your ear. And he says, I think we could take them, but if we are truly going to do this with as little body count as possible, then maybe we can let nighttime be our ally. Can you do this again?
I can do it one more time, unless... Well, how long till nightfall? I can rest for an hour and I can do this. Yeah, I can do it a couple more times.
I've got some gas station pills in my backpack.
Gosh. I can... Give me an hour and I can do it again. As long as we're waiting for dark. I think that's probably a good idea. All right. I remembered something we found, a note. Well, let's go back out to the others, and I have something I want to bring up.
Okay. He sneaks back down the hallway. Oh, I'm moving you. He sneaks back down the hallway and then out towards the postern gate. He cracks it open and takes a peek up on the ramparts. And at this point, it's so stormy that it's almost nighttime dark anyway. But he sneaks out the door real quick and hustles back out into the woods and reconvenes with Mawgrim and Annelise. Are you following, I take it?
I am, but you closed the door on me. Okay, I'm following. Yep.
So you all reconvene, and then as you guys reconvene with Mawgrim and Annelise, are you leaving your invisibility up?
Might as well. I mean, I'll let them know I'm here, but I'll be like, everyone, we've returned.
Oh my goodness.
No, it's just me. It's just me. It's Guy.
Okay. That's terrifying.
Speaking of terrifying, I remembered something we found on one of the other bandits. A note that said, don't go in the basement, it's haunted. And
interesting.
When Neldor mentioned maybe we should wait for cover of night, it made me think, I mean, we have a ghost here. Like, we might be able to create some kind of diversion and get us all in under cover of darkness.
I thought you were going to suggest, like, having your ghost talk to the ghost in the basement to, like, vibe things out.
Well, I'm wondering, too, the note that said that the basement is haunted. Neldor, do you know of the basement in this fort? You've been here before.
Yes, there is a basement, and the entrance is in the courtyard. I regret to inform you that when I was younger, there was a rumor that it was haunted, and I never ventured further down than 5 or 6 steps.
Wussy!
To be fair, I went further than anyone else in my group.
Oh, yeah. No, to be fair. I was only kidding. I'm wondering, the rumors may not be true, but we can use it to our advantage. But I'm also wondering if that rumor was spread among these bandits to keep them from finding out something down there that they're not supposed to know about. Maybe, hear me out, maybe Megan is keeping something secret down there.
Interesting. Perhaps it's worth us exploring that option.
If nothing else, after we secure the fort, we can see what's in that basement. I think if we give it another hour or so, we can use the darkness, and then we can use her to draw attention away from the postern door. And we can sneak in and go further into the fort than Neldor and I were able to go.
I think this sounds reasonable. This reminds me, when we are back in town, I'd like to ask a little bit more about who she is.
Do you know who she is? Because I have thoughts, but she hasn't told me anything. You're right. I think we should have a conversation. I think you may actually be closer to understanding what exactly she is doing here than I am.
Yes, and I think it'd be important, I think, for us to understand if these are going to happen more often, we should be aware of the type of magics that are involved.
I mean, I honestly just kind of assumed she was like my hinky punk, but, reflecting my personality more, so came out as a beautiful, eerily beautiful woman, as opposed to the hinky punk that you summon, which is, really creepy and terrifying.
Mawgrim, you already made an insight check. Guy, make an insight check.
Guy only got an 8.
All right. As this conversation continues on, Neldor says, "Dark should be just a couple of hours off. If we can wait until then, I think that any ruse with the spirit here would probably work better. So perhaps we should wait. Guy, can you make your magic turtle shell again, so we can at least get out of the rain?"
I can make that magic turtle shell all you want. Just give me 10 minutes.
Let's move further away from the fort, though, just so we won't be seen.
Yeah, we can go back to where we went before, yeah.
All right. You guys move off away from the fort. Guy, you spend 10 minutes, and poof, there is a magic turtle shell that is totally... I was going to say Jossum, but that's the Street Sharks.
It's a snapping turtle shell, so it's still Jossum.
Yes.
Shell, yeah, it's Jossum.
As you make this turtle shell, everyone, the four of you, you get inside. The spectral figure, she comes inside as well, if you allow her. She just kind of hangs out.
I will say this too. From the inside, we can all see out. We can kind of see the form, kind of transparent of the shell, but we can see out clearly. And as you walk into it, the individual sections of the shell like pivot and spin, almost like, like in old-timey train stations when they would change like the destination board and stuff. So they'll spin like that as you walk through them and then go back into place.
Oh, nice. Very cool. You guys are all sitting here in this turtle shell, staying out of the weather. And after, about 55 minutes, you see trudging up the trail 2 very bedraggled, soaking wet gnomes.
Do I feel the presence of my beautiful little boy?
You know what? Your beautiful little boy actually comes straight towards the shell. Ornan and Cilvy, you guys are kind of just walking up this trail, and suddenly you see that Pranciful darts off the path a little ways. Not like runs away, but just starts walking off the path and turns around to look at you guys, and then starts walking in that direction again.
Seems like somebody thinks he's the bloodhound.
Oh, he'll never take the title from you. Don't worry, Cilvy.
Mainly because he can't speak. It's mostly as a self-imposed
She's
nickname.
all jealous. Show off.
As you guys follow Pranciful, you wind your way through trees and brush. You guys get even more wet just from the leaves and things you have to brush through. But then up ahead, you see a green and brown mottled giant turtle shell. And you guys see Cilvy and Ornan.
Psst. Cilvy, Ornan, we're in here.
You can go wave to them. I just can't leave this, otherwise it'll go away.
Okay, I will go wave. I kind of lean out of the turtle shell and wave over to him like, psst, come in here.
Oh God, where did you come from?
I am inside this turtle shell that Guy has summoned for us.
I think that you recognize right away Tiny Hut.
Nice, perfect. No, Sylvie will cruise on inside.
Yeah, Ornan will follow.
It is good to have you here with us.
Cilvy, Ornan, I'm so happy to see you.
We found the gentleman you left tied up. We did kind of let him go, but he promised not to come back here.
Here's your rope, Guy.
Oh, it's actually Neldor's rope.
Oh, here's your rope, Neldor. I let your prisoner free.
I bet he's very grateful for that, Ornan.
He takes the rope and he says, thank you, Ornan. And then he puts the rope in his bag, and then he goes and sits back down. Insight checks from anybody.
I'm sure you wouldn't want any of your people killed needlessly, right?
Well, that's probably why he tied him up, obviously.
Right.
Ornan got an 18.
Guy got a 13.
Mawgrim got a 13.
Sylvie got a 7. Or, sorry, no, Sylvie got a 3, sorry.
Okay, I think that the only person who notices this really is Ornan. You notice that Neldor, when he came to get the rope, when he sits back down, he does not sit back in the same spot. He is now further away from you, Ornan.
Ornan moves and sits right next to him.
Okay.
How very
Just
Ornan
like
of
as
you.
close as possible.
He
Sure,
does.
it's cozy in here.
It's nice. It's nice and warm. I can actually make it even warmer if you want.
I'm just glad you got chairs sized for me and Cilvy. That's fantastic.
Yeah, Neldor does not move. But then he does kind of speak up as you guys all settle, and Cilvy, you and Ornan kind of take off your wet cloaks and kind of wring them out a little bit. He says, the fort is occupied. It doesn't, I'm not sure how many are there, but we did see 2 people on the walls, and we saw 2 people inside the keep. I don't know how many were in the courtyard. But we have decided to attempt to take the fort in the night and use this, and he doesn't know what to say, so he kind of says, spirit, to help play up the fact that the basement is haunted. Hopefully, the members of this bandit group will be caught off guard and will be able to sneak in and subdue the bandits relatively quietly. And he looks at you, Ornan, and he says, and bloodlessly.
Oh. My, how you've grown in the last few hours.
Hey, Ornan, I still don't think. Anyway, I'm glad you're back. We're doing our best. I'm worried now that man has doubled back, and they may be on to us. This ruse may not work anymore. We weren't planning to leave him in the woods. On our way back, we were going to free him and take him back with us as a prisoner.
To be fair, he was going to escape either way. He basically had his hands untied by the time we got there. And he seemed earnest about leaving. Also, he seemed pretty impressed with my fireball, so I don't know. That was kind of...
This is true. He was a little nervous as he walked the other way. But I understand if there's more urgency.
Well, regardless that the clock is ticking, so to speak, even if he decided not to betray your trust, it's possible that his return to wherever he is going will alert others of what has transpired, and more will come.
And their failure to return here would also be an alarm potentially. Should we do it?
Whatever we are going to do, we should do it quickly and soon.
What if we walked in and told them we were, Ghostbusters, hired to explore the basement?
Yeah, that would make sense. I mean, because I ain't afraid of no ghost.
Me neither.
If we need to, we can even show them that we've caught a ghost.
That's right, we have one right here.
Hey, look, see this ghost I caught? Yeah, bustin' makes me feel good.
Oh my god, I just spilled so much water into my lap. Oh my god, that made me laugh so hard.
Oh my gosh. So Annelise says, well, Guy, I understand your spells are limited, your skills are limited at the moment. You have said that you could make people invisible just twice before you would need to take a break. But I feel like after having watched the fort, if we could somehow subdue the bandit on the ramparts here closest, the southern ramparts, I don't know that anyone else outside would be able to see what we are doing if we all went into the ground floor through the postern. We have one person watching. If we could just subdue them somehow.
Well, if we got close enough to the wall, how tall are the walls, Paul?
The walls are probably about 12 or 13 feet. They'd be taller, except for like the crenellations and stuff have all tumbled down.
Gotcha. If we got close enough to the wall, I could send somebody up there, like Ornan, to take them out quickly and without killing them.
That's something I could do.
I'd have to get you within 30 feet of them, though. And you'd have to go quick.
All right, well, I'd have to take my shoes off first.
Oh, that's right. Neldor says, well, that sounds like the beginnings of a plan.
Right. Okay. So we're not going to be Ghostbusters.
Well, I liked that one better, but this I think might work too.
All right. So here's what I'll do. Ornan, I'll send you up, and I will try to follow immediately after if I can, unless you wave over the edge and let me know that everything's okay, and then I can save that resource.
All right. I'm ready when you are.
All right. Let's head back in.
He's saying that his body is ready.
That's right.
All right.
I feel it in my gut here.
You feel it through the tube and out the boob?
I don't know why kids at my elementary school said that, but they said that.
It's quite clever.
100%.
Oh, man.
Okay. So, you have finished a short rest. So, Guy, you do get that one spell slot back. Anybody can burn hit dice that they want to. I don't know if anybody needs to, honestly. Actually, let me check. Yeah, I think everybody has already burned the hit dice that they need to, at least on my end. The ghost woman cannot burn hit dice.
No, she doesn't have any. Yeah.
Once you leave, Guy, then the rain will pour in and everyone will be wet again.
All right, everybody, bite your tongues. It's about to get cold, and I'll just step out of the turtle shell, and it will just kind of fall apart and disperse in this kind of dark blue mist.
All right, you are standing out here under the trees and brush. So if you are going to sneak up to the ramparts, there are some trees and bushes that you can get to that are within about 15 or 20 feet of the wall. You figured that you could get underneath kind of the closest tree. That is the furthest back you can be in order to get Ornan up onto the ramparts.
Okay. All right. Let's do it.
All right. Let me take my shoes off.
I'm going to need stealth checks from Ornan and Guy as everybody else kind of moves back into that same position where they can see what's going on without being seen from the castle.
I got a nat 20 for 21.
Nice. And Guy got a 17, so that's also a decent roll. I think we're going to be okay.
I think you guys are, because this person's passive perception is a 10 and it's already miserable outside. Okay, so Ornan and Guy, you guys move up beneath this tree. This tree still has a few leaves on it, but it is pretty much skeletal at this point. The ground is covered in orange and brown and yellow leaves, but there is still enough bushes and cover that you guys are fairly well hidden, and you are now at the point where you can make your move.
All right, so what I'll do then is I'll say, all right, I'm going to send you up right next to her, this side of her, so to the south of her.
Oh, she's cute.
They're always cute, dude.
It's going to be hard to hit her with my hammer.
We'll do it non-lethally, so don't do any permanent damage.
You just have to boink her, if you know what I mean.
All right. Well, I have to ask permission first. I can't just go around boinking people.
No, bonk.
Bonking. Oh,
in that case, kapow.
Well, I don't have to ask to bonk him, I guess.
Okay, so I'm going to put my hand on your shoulder. I'm going to say, game face on, Ornan. And then I'm going to send in between right south of her.
Ornan, you suddenly feel this shift. What does it feel like, Guy, as somebody passes between?
Between those silky sheets.
Ornan, you do get this slight glimpse of this creature, darker than the darkest night, with two eyes. One is the full moon, one is a crescent, but only for a split second.
I was going to say, it does not feel pleasant, but it doesn't hurt. It feels cold and you kind of feel sick while you're there, but it is so fast that it's just slightly disorienting, but not so much that it has any kind of mechanical disadvantage.
So when you pop back up, you have kind of the echo of like of an upset stomach.
Okay.
You are right here, right next to this woman. She is covered in this heavy wool cloak. She's got it pulled down. You can see that she has not been paying very close attention, and you pop up right next to her. Before she can even scream, you have got your war pick in your hands. What are you going to do?
I'm going to hit her with the warhammer. Couple of hits. First one is a 10.
You should have advantage. She's surprised.
Oh, yeah, that's advantage. Yeah, you have advantage.
Oh, yes, sorry. 12, I guess, for that first one.
You
with advantage.
barely hit.
Oh, I do hit. Oh, okay.
You barely hit.
That will be 14 bludgeoning damage.
Oh, jeez.
Non-lethal?
Non-lethal.
Oh, that would be so hilarious. Like, no, I'm just going to kill her.
Oh.
After the entire episode last week.
Ornan gives up on all his morals.
I just found him. I can't give him up yet.
As you pop up there, you clobber this woman, and she crumples like a sack of, I can't say potatoes because that's thieves' can't, a sack of something else.
Turnips?
Little
cabbages?
Little rocks.
Corn?
Yeah, a sack of little rocks.
Flour?
Those don't really crumple, though, I'm not going to lie.
Leaves?
She just falls to the ground. Just her body goes limp and she falls down unconscious. Ornan, from up here, you can see across the courtyard. The courtyard's only about 30 feet from north to south. It's definitely longer east to west, but you can see that down in the courtyard, you see two figures that are moving about in the courtyard. It looks like they're kind of moving some wood around. Maybe they're reinforcing like some stairs and things. You can see that the inside of this fort is more ramshackle and put together than kind of the outside. The outside has survived better. You can see that the staircase that leads up to the double doors that lead into the main area of the keep, that staircase has fallen apart. It was stone and has been replaced with some thrown together kind of rafter or scaffolding type of wooden steps. You can see that down in front of you there is a staircase that leads down into the courtyard, and on the far side of the courtyard on the northern rampart there's a staircase that leads back up to the northern rampart from the courtyard. On the left side or on the west side you see the gatehouse, and on the east side you can see that up here on the rampart there is a door, and then there is the double doors that go up the stairs from the courtyard, and then on the far rampart there is another door that leads, all those lead into the keep. All right, all of you have now seen Ornan move up and disappear from sight. Ornan, what are you going to do now?
Ornan is going to motion. He's going to put his hammer down and motion the number 3 down to Guy, and then point north.
One more thing I forgot to mention. Also, from where you're standing, Ornan, on the gatehouse, there's a tower on the south and a tower on the north. And on the top of the north tower, you see that there are two figures standing on top of that tower. Looks like they're just conversing. They're not actually actively watching, but there are two more people up on top of that tower. I think Mawgrim noticed them last time.
Okay. And then Ornan is going to motion left and right because there's doors both directions, and then kind of shrug like his shoulders up.
Oh, right. I forgot to mention. There is a doorway on the other side that leads into the gatehouse here on the ramparts. And you can see that there's another door on the other rampart. So it looks like you can go, if you go to the east, you're going to go into the keep. And if you go to the west, you're going to go into the gatehouse.
Does Guy respond or make any?
Oh, sorry. Oh, you were waiting for my response. Yeah. Guy will kind of motion you back off the wall.
All right. Ornan.
Oh, actually, I'll motion to like pick up a baby, like you're carrying a baby, and then I'll say come back.
Okay. Ornan grabs the body of the woman and jumps off the little balcony thing or rampart.
Okay. All right. I'm going to have you roll a d6.
2 damage.
You take 2 bludgeoning damage.
Reduced by 3 because of your heavy armor mastery.
I think it doesn't have to be an attack.
Yeah, I don't know if it's falling, but
I just thought it said bludgeoning damage.
It does just say bludgeoning, slashing, and piercing.
You know what? Then I guess you're fine. Yeah. I guess you're fine. You totally fall flat on your face and your armor's so
Oh my
padded.
goodness, it's a power armor fall.
But I'm barefoot, so.
Still, you're good. All right,
You
you've got this.
toe.
You've got this unconscious bandit in your hands.
Oh, yeah, motion you back over to the trees.
All right. And I'll drag her with me to the trees.
Okay.
I got one.
Let's leave her under here. She won't get too wet underneath these trees. Let's obviously keep her from like face down in a puddle or something.
Sure.
But I think it'd be best if we went back in through the postern door.
Anyone want to make a medicine check on this woman?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Let me find medicine. There it is. I got a 12.
You're pretty sure she's not going to die. She's unconscious, and it looks like she is she's out. I rolled a d8 to see how long it will take her before she wakes up. But anyway, with your 12, I'd say that it's not quite long enough.
Fun fact, though, for listeners, do not get knocked out and think you're okay. If you're out for any amount of time, you have brain damage.
Yes. We are playing Hollywood rules, not real rules.
How true it is.
Yes. Leave the arrow in your body. Do not pull it out.
Do not pull it out. Do not pull it out.
No,
All right.
but we have to get the bullet out.
Like, no.
Before we go, though, I would probably take out stuff to tie things around her arms and probably gag like around her mouth, kind of thing.
Okay, perfect. All right. As you're doing that, Neldor sneaks up to the ramparts, and he goes and he stands by the postern gate, waiting for you guys to come and join him.
Just be aware, everyone. There are bedrooms on this first floor, just inside this door. There may be people in their rooms now. When we came through before, they were completely empty. Do we want to use the distraction of the ghost, or do we want to just go in the door now? I'm honestly wondering if we win anything by the ghost, because we already kind of cleared our way into the building. No offense, ghost.
Maybe she can communicate with the ghost in the basement and we can work out a deal.
Ah. Yes. An infernal bargain between the dead. Oh, this is going to be great.
Annelise looks incredibly uncomfortable.
Actually, I do look over at Annelise. I've been meaning to say this for a while, but I keep forgetting with NPCs around and stuff. But I will look at her and I'll say, I'm grateful that you came. And I'm grateful that you trusted me enough to follow me here to this fort.
She nods, and then she says, yes.
She's like, yes, I am here.
She goes,
that is factually correct.
wow, Paul, your NPCs are so multidimensional. No, she does say, she kind of nods at that, and she says, I do think that we have some things to talk about, but that will have to wait. And then she hustles off past you guys up to wait with Neldor by the postern gate.
Yeah, I'll go up there. Everybody else coming?
Yes, let's do this.
All right. Once everybody gets up there, then Neldor will open the door, and
Principal's
he
coming
will
too.
take point. Okay, perfect. Is Principal on this map?
I don't think so.
Let me put Principal on here. You need him.
I mean, don't need him. I just want him there.
No, we need him.
Neldor moves in, followed quickly by Annelise.
Oh, we're letting the NPCs lead?
You guys are all hanging back. This is as you guys enter into this bottom floor, you can see that on the ground floor, it is a narrow hallway, like barely 5 feet wide. On the eastern wall, there are 4 doors. They all look relatively the same. One of them on the furthest south door does look like it has a lock, but it has also already been picked by Guy.
Expertly.
Yeah. As you guys move down this hall, I am going to need stealth checks from everybody.
Ooh. Very nice.
Ooh, not nearly as good this time.
I have disadvantage on this. Oh, yeah. I got a natural one for a 2.
So we got a 14.
Ornan got a 17.
I haven't looked at my scores yet because I have been rolling. Guy got a 19, Principal got a 20, and Spooky Lady got a 17.
All right.
Show off.
That's the last time I can take my shoes off, guys. I can't take them off again.
I'm glad that we're all very quiet right now, guys. We're doing so good.
So it looks like we have 3 failures and 4 successes.
Get in the door, Mawgrim.
Okay, yeah.
No wonder we can't sneak.
All right. Passive perceptions as you guys move down this hall. It doesn't matter because as everyone moves through, the person bringing up the rear is Mawgrim. Mawgrim, as you bring up the rear, you can hear, not by the southernmost door, but the next one up. If you guys recall last time we got together, Guy went and he opened up all of these other doors and he found that they were bedrooms. as you pass by the southernmost bedroom, you can hear with your passive perception the sound of movement, or you can hear the sound of snoring from behind that door.
Got it. There are people sleeping in here.
Oh, do we?
Just thought you might want to know that. Okay. Be very quiet.
We're hunting bandits.
Says Mawgrim with his two.
Oh my gosh.
You guys need to be quiet.
So we did it. We did kind of a group stealth check.
Okay.
All right. So what are you guys gonna do? There is somebody sleeping in one of these rooms. As he says that, and you guys all stop and listen, I want everyone else to make perception checks as well.
Oof. Guy got an 18 perception.
Ornan got a 6.
Cilvy got a 4.
Let's see how our other folks
All right,
do.
we didn't need to react so violently there, Matt. Come on now.
That was actually Paul. Okay, so we'll say that where you guys are standing, Guy, you can hear in the next room up. You can't hear anything. You're fairly certain that next room up is empty, but you guys can't tell about that last bedroom, whether there's anybody in there or not. So definitely somebody in the southernmost bedroom, and you're not sure about the northernmost bedroom.
Okay. What do you guys want to do? I'm asking this as players, not as... I guess we should do it in character, huh? Where it's harder to communicate quietly. I will point to Ornan. Unless anybody says... Somebody else, please have a plan.
I feel like we could just keep on rolling, right? Past them?
We could bar the doors with something.
Ooh. Are there knobs on the doors? Do they open in or out? And are there knobs or like rings on the doors?
There are rings on the doors, and they open in towards the room.
All right. I'm going to silently, pull out my rope, and I'm going to mime tying the rope between all the door rings.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that way they would be all like tied together tight in this hallway to keep them from opening.
Okay. That's a really good idea.
Physics-wise, would that work?
I think so. I think it would work.
I was just trying to think about that. I think it would, but...
They might be able to open a little bit, but probably not enough to, like, get out.
Definitely enough that somebody could, like, slip a knife or a sword out, though.
Yeah.
It would
stop them
definitely
for a while.
hinder. It would definitely hinder, though. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But my concern, well, no, it's fine. It's D&D. But my concern would that make more noise than just, like, not and leaving it. But I'm not actually that worried about it. Go for it.
All right, I'll start threading rope. I guess we'll start at one end and go to the other. And the order is basically we thread it through from Neldor down through everybody to Mawgrim.
Okay. Yeah, you thread it through, then you tie it off, and you're fairly certain that you kind of pull on the rope a little bit. It's relatively tight. If somebody tried to open the door, they would not be able to slip through for sure. But the rope is going to have a little bit of give. Okay.
And I would say too that we would tie it on each of the doorknobs. So even if they cut one section, other doors would still be locked or pulled tight.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, that would make sense. It would depend on which door was open and cut. But yeah, okay, very good. That is a great improvised lock. I love it. So with the perception checks as well. So Guy, as you still had that, you had that 18. Something else that you notice, besides that room that you were the middle bedroom, besides knowing that one is empty, one other thing that you notice is that you can hear up above the footsteps of somebody walking around on this Fallout 4-esque settlement floor. And you can see through the paneling a little bit. You can see a shadow moving. It's kind of walking back and forth, almost pacing. But you only see one figure moving around up there.
Okay. I will motion to everybody, and I will point up, and I'll say one person, and I'll mime walking back and forth with my fingers.
Okay. Neldor has his spear in one hand and he's got his shield in his other hand, and he kind of like motions like with his shield, like bashing, like, do we go and just try to clobber the person and overtake them with sheer force?
I'll take the lead. I'll head on up there. Excuse me. Pardon me. Yep. Between the legs. Sorry.
You just walk right underneath everybody's legs.
Meow.
As you go around the corner, you can see the stairs.
I will be watching up through the floor so that I can send the ghost lady up through the floor if Ornan needs immediate help.
Neldor puts his hand on your shoulder, Ornan, and he whispers in your ear and he says, I'll go with you.
All right.
As you see the pacing figure, Guy, you see that the figure kind of walks towards the staircase and then walks back down south towards the other end of the room and then back up towards the staircase. So when do you want to notify Ornan and Neldor to go as far as where this person is in the room?
It would be when they're about halfway across the room from the staircase, but heading toward the opposite side of the room.
Okay.
Never mind. No, I would want them. I also don't want them to be clear across the room and not be able to get the jump on them. So I guess I would motion them to go as the person turns their back and starts to move toward the opposite side of the room from the staircase, if that made any sense.
No, I got you. You got to be strategic about this kinds of things.
So when they're close to the staircase, so they can just hop right up and then get them, but turned around?
Exactly. But turned around, like starting to head away so that they, hopefully by the time our guys get to the top of the staircase, they're maybe 10 feet away from the staircase.
Prelate Annelise lines up behind Neldor, I guess, because she's going to go up too if you're going to send Ornan and the NPCs up. All right, Guy, you watch this figure moving and you see the perfect moment to point your finger and you say, go. And Ornan, Neldor, and Prelate Annelise rush up the stairs, and we are going to roll initiative.
Ornan got a 14.
He got a 15.
Sylvie got 9.
Mawgrim got an 8.
The Spectre technically has its own turn. Would you like me to roll for the Spectre and for Prancival?
Sure.
Ghost Lady got a 14. Prancival got a 19.
All right. At the top of the initiative order, we have Neldor. So what happens is Ornan, Neldor, and Prelate Annelise, you rush up the stairs just as this beefy, this woman with this great axe strapped across her back. She is pacing around on the floor. Real quick insight. You guys can make those checks, but it is Neldor's turn as she turns around as you rush up the stairs to confront her.
Ornan got a 4 insight.
As you pop up the stairs, this woman turns towards you and all you see on her face is shock and surprise. Neldor is going to make, I think it's 2 attacks. Sorry, guys, I'm pulling this up. Give me a second.
Yeah, you're good.
Thank you. I had a feeling someone would say that.
Yeah, I'm fond of you, Paul.
Heck, I'd even vote for you for DM in the crit awards.
That's right, I would.
Who wouldn't, though?
All right, he is going to make 3 attacks. The first thing he does is he rushes forward and tries to bash her with his shield. He gets a +5 to this attack, and that is going to be, that's an 18. That is going to hit, and that is going to be a total of 4 damage, but most importantly, she has to make a strength save, potentially getting knocked down. And she rolls a natural 1,
Whoa.
and she is prone. Oh my goodness. All right. As she falls down, he gets 2 more attacks. This time he's going to attack her with his spear non-lethally, and that is going to be a 14 and an 8. The 14 is going to hit, and that is going to be another 7 damage. Sorry, 6 damage. Oh, wait, no, he gets advantage on that attack, on those attacks.
Yeah, do it again.
Okay, so then the second one will actually hit. No crits, but that second one will hit, and that will be... The second one will be a total of another 7 damage. She is prone, and she has taken 17 damage, and it is now Prancival's turn.
Prancival is looking at the ropes on the doors, really tempted. But he's gonna be a good little boy for now, and he's just gonna look at it, kind of get down in the play pose, shake his butt, and then that's his turn.
Beautiful. All right, and that is gonna bring us now to Guy. Guy, what are you gonna do?
Everything's looking pretty good, so I think Guy's actually going to follow up the stairs now that we've seen from below everything he really needed to. So he's gonna go 15 feet to the stairs.
Okay. You pop up, you can see now up above, you can see one of these beefy people, the woman that was sitting at the table earlier. You see that she looks like she's alone in the keep right now.
And then, so then I can move the rest of my movement to the other side of her. And I'll go ahead and make a non-lethal attack with my Queen's Scepter.
Okay.
Oh, never mind. I'm not... never mind. I'll use the fan because I remember that I changed my hex weapon out. So I'm using the fan non-lethally.
Okay.
Like some kind of scimitar. Oh, and I have advantage. That's a 26 to hit.
Ooh, almost a crit, but yeah, that'll hit.
For 5 non-lethal slashing damage.
Okay, as one does. All right. She has now taken 22 damage. It is now her turn. She has the surprised condition. That means everybody gets one more turn before it's her turn again. And she can start to yell or scream or fight back. All right, Spectral Lady, what are you going to do?
Spectral Lady is just going to float directly up through the floor.
Okay, directly up. Okay, I can do that.
Taking the shortcut.
How hurt is she looking, this lady?
She is not bloodied.
Okay, then Spectral Lady is going to reach out her hand and cast what looks like it would be like magic missile, but it's short range and it hits her more physically, more drainingly. So that will be an 18 to hit.
That'll hit.
For 8 necrotic damage.
Okay, and she has to make a save, right?
Yep, it needs to be a DC 10 Constitution.
I think she actually made it. She rolled a 7. Her con is pretty high. Yeah, she made it. So she does not. So she does not lose the maximum hit points, but she does still take that damage. Okay. All right, Ornan Opal Bleacher, you are next. You can see this woman is being surrounded, but she is still not bloodied.
Okay. Oh man. Okay. Ornan's gonna run up and start attacking with his warhammer.
Okay.
With advantage because she's prone, right?
Yes, she is definitely prone.
The first one is a 16 to hit.
That'll hit.
For 10 piercing damage.
Okay, now she appears bloodied.
The next one is a 25 to hit.
That'll hit.
For 12 bludgeoning damage.
Okay, she is still conscious, but she is definitely looking hurt.
Okay, I'm gonna spin the shaft and keep going.
Okay.
Next hit with the warhammer, a 23 to hit.
That'll hit.
For 9 bludgeoning.
Ooh, you can see that like her eyes are starting to roll, but she is still awake.
And my last one, a crit.
Uh-oh.
Oh, jeez.
Damn. Oh, good lord.
Hold on. 7.
Did you just say damn while you popped open and like cracked a beer?
That was me opening a soda, but yeah.
Okay.
So an additional 20 non-lethal bludgeoning damage.
All right. As you clobber this woman, you see her eyes roll back in her head, and she is unconscious, and we are going to leave initiative and cue. No, we're not. Okay, let's keep going.
Good night, Lassie.
You now have this unconscious berserker here lying on the floor, bleeding but alive. Cilvy and Mawgrim, you guys are still downstairs. It looks like the main area of the keep is now empty.
I'll whisper down through the floorboards and I'll say, I'll have Prancival watch the door as well. Come on up and join us.
Yeah, Cilvy will go upstairs.
Yeah, Mawgrim will too.
All right, let me move you guys. Boop. You guys are all now upstairs in the keep. So what you see is that there are, again, on the western wall, there are 3 doorways. It looks like there's a northern doorway that goes onto the northern rampart. There is a centrally located double door, which you imagine is kind of the main entrance into the keep that goes back down into the courtyard. And there is a southern door that you imagine must lead out onto the southern rampart. There are a couple of different tables. You can see there's like a little cooking station in here, but nothing fancy. It looks like basically they cook over an open fire. There's like a fire pit. You can see that there are a couple of crates and boxes. This is definitely not where they have been keeping their booty. It looks like this is more of supplies and food. You see there are also a couple of cots and things up here where it looks like some of the bandits must sleep up here as opposed to downstairs in the sleeping quarters. But at this point, the chamber is empty.
Should we put in one of these cots?
Neldor bends down and grabs underneath her arms and waits for somebody to grab her legs and then to move her over to a cot.
I'll grab her legs.
Sounds like a fair idea.
See, look, we're taking care of the prisoners. We're even making them comfortable after we knock them out. We can do this, everyone.
We're so gracious.
Prelate Annelise goes over and she starts binding this woman, like binding her arms to her sides and binding her feet together.
All right. So, based on what you saw, Ornan, what would be the next step for us?
Well, I don't know where this door right in front of us leads. And he points to the one to the west. There were a few people in the courtyard. There were 2 of them. There's a couple right above us, if I'm remembering correctly, and then another one on a rampart to the north.
I think that the double door was the... Well, what did you say, Paul?
And the double door, you imagine, leads down into the courtyard.
And then so the north
central,
door
the
leads
central
to the
door
north.
on that wall is a double door, and from what Ornan saw up above, there is some stairs that have been kind of remade with wood that lead up from the courtyard to that double door.
Every time you say double door, I think of the Lego movie.
Dumbledore.
Dumbledore. Double door.
Yeah, and then the other 2 doors look like they lead onto the northern and the southern ramparts, respectively.
No, but you said there were people on top of the keep or on top of one of the guard towers on the gate?
On top of one of the towers, the gatehouse towers. So there's 2 towers on the west side, and it looks like there were 2 people on the northern tower.
All right, so should we go to the courtyard then? There is people in the courtyard, or should we try to take the northern rampart? We risk being seen by the people in the tower there by the gate. Or we could go the southern rampart and try to go through the gatehouse and take out the people on the tower and work our way back to the wall and then into the courtyard.
We could have 1 or 2 of us go down to the courtyard and 1 or 2 go up on the rampart and try and take them out as quickly as possible. Or we could sneak across the other way.
I think if we want to do this with minimal deaths, sneaking might be the optimal option.
Mawgrim,
She's probably right.
as you guys are having this discussion quietly, you hear right by the door, this northern door that leads onto the northern ramparts, you hear a voice on the other side, and it sounds like somebody is coming towards that door, and you hear, "I'm starving. Been standing on that tower for hours." You each have time to do a move or an action or a bonus action before we roll initiative.
Can I jump behind like this trunk or something and hide?
Yeah, you can jump and hide.
Is there a desk that I can hide underneath?
I was just thinking that.
There
It's the
are
best
some
hiding place.
There are some tumble down walls. There is a table you can try to hide under. There's a couple cots you can try to hide under. You can rush back down the stairs. You guys, so Cilvy, you have made your move.
Okay, Guy is actually going to get on the cot beside. So there's like a little half wall, like there's a wall that comes out from that door. Guy's going to get on the cot that's on the other side of that wall. So basically, as they come in the door, they won't be able to see Guy. He'll be shielded, but Guy will be able to see them as they pass. And then the ghost is going to go ahead and just sink back down through the floor for now.
Okay, I'm going to bonus action click my heels, and we are going to quickly move.
So here's what I'll say, because I did say you could do a move, bonus action, or an action. I will say you can do your bonus action, and because it helps you move faster, you can move then 15 feet. Or 30 feet, because it doubles your speed.
Okay, so I can't. So only 30 feet total?
So because this is all happening right now, like I was letting you move or bonus action or action.
An or situation. Got it. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Well, I will. I mean, I guess I will click my heels and then I think, can I get around this wall over to here?
Yes, you can.
I think I'm going to do that and hopefully hide in this area.
Sounds good. Ornan, what are you doing?
Can I ready an attack?
Yes, you can.
I'm going to throw hammers as soon as the door opens.
You just remember, ranged attacks, you cannot pull punches.
Oh, really?
Correct.
He's just screaming, "It's hammer time."
Shoot. Okay, then I won't do that. Ornan is going to move underneath the table that's just south of him and hide kind of underneath one of the chairs.
Okay. Prelate Annelise is going to hustle back down the stairs, and she is now down in the hallway on the first floor with the spooky lady. And Neldor is going to hustle around the wall with Mawgrim. So at this point, as the door opens to the northern rampart, you see two figures move into the room and close the door. They're both lightly armored in leather armor. They both have bows slung across their backs, quivers at their hips. They are wearing thick cloaks covered in rain.
I'm quivering at the hips. Just saying.
Look at that token. Yeah.
As they move in, so Guy, you are literally out of sight. Neldor and Mawgrim are literally out of sight as well. You guys can make your stealth hide checks with advantage. Cilvy and Ornan, you guys are kind of more out in the open. There's not like cover actually covering you. So you guys make stealth checks just normally.
Guy got a nat 20 for a 22.
And by normal, you mean with disadvantage because I'm wearing heavy armor.
That's only to move silently.
No, it's pretty much. I think in 5th edition they don't make that distinction.
Yeah. Are you sure?
Regardless, I got a 15.
Sylvie got a 10.
Okay. Neldor got a 19. Annelise, she's out of sight too, so she gets advantage. She only got an 11. Sylvie got a
Well, I only got a 7, so I'm so stealthy, guys. I'm rolling really well tonight.
The door closes, and this man and woman, they come walking in. They're like, "Hey, where is everybody? Where's our food?" And they can hear Annelise and Mawgrim to the north as they sense that something is up. We are going to roll initiative, but no surprise round.
Ooh, that makes combat more complicated.
Mawgrim got a 19 for his initiative.
Nice.
Ornan got an 8.
Guy got a 16.
Sylvie got a 9.
Okay. Let me order these up. Okay, at the top of the round, we have Mawgrim. Mawgrim, you're first with your initiative of 19. What are you going to do?
Besides,
you are hiding behind this wall.
Crap.
You step out to your right, you'll be able to look down and see these two figures that have entered the keep.
I am going to do that. I'm going to step out to the right.
Okay.
And I am going to... Yeah, we're going to do it. I'm going to use a 3rd level strong paralytic dart and shoot. With the 3rd level, I can shoot 2 darts. So,
oh man.
Okay.
They both need to make a DC 15 wisdom save.
Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. So the guy rolled a 15 naturally. The girl, she only rolled an 11. So the guy manages to save. What happens to the girl?
So she is paralyzed for a minute.
Oh my gosh. That's so great. Okay. She is paralyzed.
Okay, cool. And that's really it for me.
Okay. Okay. Very good move. Mawgrim, you cast a spell. She's paralyzed for a minute. He is not. And now it is Guy's turn. Guy, you are right behind the wall. You can barely see the edge of this woman who suddenly she goes rigid and is standing stock still.
Oh, okay. I'm going to step out, and now I can see both her and the guy behind her.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to, that's 5, 10. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and step clear
He
around.
kind of looks Orlando Bloomy, but discount.
Totally.
Yeah, discount Orlando Bloom.
Totally. That's Walmart Orlando Bloom over there.
Well, that's the guy that I said looks like he's wearing like a medieval leather pith helmet.
Yes, it does.
Okay, I'm going to move around the paralyzed woman to the other guy, and I'm going to go ahead and make an attack against him with the fan.
Also, I love how you can tell it's AI because it's got like 6 different strings going to nowhere.
It's true.
That is what I was going to say.
Are going straight through his arm too.
I know. He's got like, why are there feathers there?
No, they're
Yeah.
strapped to his forearm so he can pull them off and put them on there. That's how I make it work in my brain.
So the string hits goes right next to where the arrows are. All 4 of them.
It's a compound bow.
He shoots 4 arrows at the same time. Okay.
Anyway.
Hey, I don't know why I rolled with advantage, but So you got a 22 to hit.
That will hit. Yes.
For 8 non-lethal slashing damage.
Okay. 8 damage to this guy. Okay. He is still standing, and now it is Neldor. Oh no, it's Spooky Lady and Pranciful. Are they going to do anything?
Spooky Lady's popping back up to the floor, and she is going to take an attack against this guy as well. He's not bloody, right?
He is not. Well, he is bloodied.
Oh, never mind. She's going to stay. She's going to stay hidden.
I was going to say, he is literally bloodied. Like, right on the edge.
Yeah, so Pranciful and Spooky Lady are staying downstairs.
Okay, Neldor is going to rush forward then, and he is going to do a shield bash against this guy, and that is going to be a natural 1 that's going to miss, and then 2 spear attacks, and he's only going to hit 1 time, and that is going to be, wow, only 4 non-lethal damage. He is going to, he's going to, after he just takes his attacks, he sees that the guy has a bow in his hand, so he's going to step back and make room so that somebody else can get in there.
A quad
it's
bow.
Quite tight.
Yeah, it's not just any bow. It's a bow of legend.
And now we have Annelise. Annelise comes rushing back up the stairs after hearing all the hullabaloo. She rushes in with her mace. It's the only non-lethal damage that she can do. She gets a +2 to this attack. Here's the issue. She gets a +2 to this attack. If she does not hit, it is this guy's turn next. Here we go. That's a 10.
Oh, no.
And she misses.
Okay.
All right, it is now his turn. As he starts to get clobbered, he kind of shrinks back. He's right by the door. He throws open the door and he yells out, "We're under attack!" And he starts to move out the door. And now Annelise and Guy both get attacks opportunity if they want them. Annelise will definitely take it and rolls a natural 1.
And Guy will take that attack as well and roll a 12.
That will barely miss.
Ah, dang it. Okay.
He moves 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and then he turns around, and can he see? Let's see, can he see anybody? Oh, he can't see anybody. He can barely see Neldor. He's going to turn around and take 2 shots at Neldor, but Neldor has bonuses to his AC because of cover, and he is going to he's going to hit Neldor 1 time, and that is going to be with it's a longbow because this is the same template that was Hop at one point. That's going to be 4 damage to Neldor. And now I've got to add some people into the initiative tracker.
Oh God, he called his buddies.
Some of them have already missed their opportunity to take a turn this turn, though. That was redundantly redundant.
And it was said the same thing twice.
That's so funny.
That worked on somebody.
All right, let's get back into it. Where are we at? We are at his turn. All right. He is done with his turn. We now have one of these thugs is down in the courtyard. She comes rushing up. You guys can't see what she's doing. You see that the main doors to the keep open up, and this woman is standing there as she levels a crossbow at. She levels it at Neldor, and there's going to be an attack against.
Serves him right.
Neldor. She rolls a natural 2 and misses, and that is her turn. And then we have got this guy who was on the northern rampart. He is going to what is he going to do? He is no hero. You guys cannot see what he does, but his turn is up. Cilvy, it is your turn. You've got one person who is paralyzed, and from where you are standing, you can see the person who just opened the door. She is kind of brawny. She's got like leather armor on. She's got a heavy crossbow in her hands and a cudgel at her waist.
And she's bloodied?
No.
No.
No, she is untouched.
Oh, okay, gotcha, cool. Yeah, no, Cilvy does not have any non-lethal damage. Well, not much non-lethal damage that she can do, but she will bitch bolt this lady at 2nd level and try to at least get her shocked. That's an 11 to hit.
That will hit.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Oh, no.
That's incredible.
Oh, no. Level 2?
But level 2, she's fine. That was, oh my god, my rolls have been so bad. That was like 10 damage.
10 damage. Okay. She is
She's
not
fine.
bloodied. She is not bloodied, but she is connected to you now with, this is like a thug. She's connected to
when
you.
When you said an 11 hit, I'm like, oh great, this is a guard with 9 hit points or 11 hit
Yeah, I
points.
thought she was going to burn to a crisp right away.
All right, Cilvy, are you moving then too?
Yeah, Cilvy will just kind of step up and kind of be a little bit behind Neldor.
Neldor.
Oh my god, sorry.
Neldor.
Sorry.
Neldor.
Sorry.
It's all good.
All right, it is now Ornan's turn. Ornan, you are hiding underneath the table. You see this woman has just opened these double doors. It looks like she is more of a threat, like physically, than the guy and the woman that entered in initially and started this combat.
Okay. Ornan is going to run up to the door and stand. I'm going to step out so that I can actually reach her. I don't know if I could like hit her around the door.
Okay.
So I'm going to step out into the courtyard and take some attacks.
Perfect.
The first one is a 14 to hit
That'll hit.
for 7 bludgeoning damage.
Okay. She's bloodied.
The next one is a 12 to hit
That will hit.
for 11 bludgeoning damage.
All right. She's looking pretty rough.
And I'm going to push her 5 feet away from me with that second hit.
You're on the steps that lead down to the courtyard, and there is this sort of like a platform that's been built up just to kind of help reinforce some of the walls. So she doesn't fall off the stairs. She falls onto like this platform, or she gets pushed onto this platform. From where you're standing now, you can see into the courtyard. You can see that down here in the main area of the courtyard, there's one other like thug-looking guy. He's kind of dressed similar to this woman. And then you can see that there is a guy just in like a cloak. You can see this guy. He is he's not nearly as imposing. He is rushing back towards the gatehouse, and it looks like he is about ready to start opening the gatehouse to like open the gate to try to get out of the castle, of the fort.
We're just looking for Megan. Everyone else is free to go. We don't need anything with you. We're just after the leader.
Well, that brings us now back to Mawgrim.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Hey, Paul, did the girl who's paralyzed make a saving throw?
Does she get to make one every turn?
I believe so, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's like the end of every turn.
Okay. She is no longer paralyzed. So at initiative 11, she is going to get to go again.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Okay. Well, that being the case, I will walk up just over here next to Prelate Annelise, and I will make an attack against her with my dagger hand.
Okay.
Wait, against Annelise?
No, against
No.
the formerly paralyzed.
Oh, okay. She's right next to Annelise. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was
And,
just doing that so that we could visually explain to our listeners what's going on.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, I'm gonna attack this formerly paralyzed person with my +1 dagger and do non-lethal, hopefully. It's only a 9 to hit.
That will miss.
So that's it. That's all I can do. Man, this
Okay.
whole non-lethal thing's gonna be real tough,
I know,
guys.
this is so rough.
All right, Guy, well, it's your turn. You're standing next to this woman as well, the one who is no longer paralyzed, still in the keep. You know that there are 4 combatants now outside in the courtyard. Well, 1 on the parapet and then 2 in the courtyard.
Guy will say to her, because she has a bow, right?
Yes.
Guy will say to her, "You heard what the gnome said. We don't want to kill you. We're after Megan." And I'm just going to go past her and head out the door.
Okay. As you get out the door, you can barely reach the guy that you were clobbering before. He is still up on the ramparts. He's got his bow drawn, and it looks like he's about ready to shoot another arrow at whoever comes out the door. But you managed to get to him before he can get that arrow knocked.
Then I'm going to attack him non-lethally with the fan again.
Okay.
It's a 21 to hit
That will hit
for 7 non-lethal slashing damage.
as he crumples to the ground. You smack him with the fan. I imagine you have it open to slash, then you close it up so it's more like a little club, and you bonk him on the head, and he crumples to the ground.
Exactly. It actually looks really cool on like this knight in shining armor with a shield and like helmet and everything and a plume. And for some reason, I'm attacking with this like beautiful fan.
Yes. All right. Anything else that you want to do? Anything that Spooky Lady wants to do?
Spooky Lady's just going to rise through the floor and look threateningly at the archer who just came out of paralysis.
Okay. All right. That now brings us to the other thug, the one in the courtyard still who did not get to move yet. He is going to draw his little mace and rush up towards Ornan. Ornan, you have got 2 attacks coming your way. +4 to each of these rolls.
All right.
15 is the highest roll. The next one's a 13.
Those will both miss.
He misses you. All right. And he starts yelling out, to arms, we're under attack. And Prelate Annelise's turn. Prelate Annelise looks at this archer, gives her, raises her eyebrow, and then moves out onto the ramparts to see what she can do. And from her position here, 5, 10, she is now moving around and coming down the stairs to get into the courtyard, but that takes her whole movement and dash. And that brings us now to the paralyzed scout, the paralyzed archer. I need, with advantage, intimidation from either Ornan or Guy.
Your bonus is probably higher than mine.
Yeah, I guess I'm not using the scepter right now. I would have advantage on it as well, but that's a 25 intimidation.
Nice.
She looks out at everybody. She sees this ghost standing next to her, and she drops her bow. And let's see, what does she do? She's not just going to stand right still. She's going to move slowly around the spectral woman and heads back down towards the table, but she no longer is armed. It looks like she doesn't want to be next to the ghost, but she doesn't want to be next to any of you. That is her turn. And then we have the scout who got knocked out, and now we have the thug woman who got knocked back by Ornan. She's going to stand up off of this platform and rush towards Ornan with her club drawn, her mace drawn. She's going to take 2 attacks against you. There's going to be a 20 or a 17.
The 20 will hit.
That is going to be, that's going to be 8 damage to you. Not magical.
All right, I'll take 5.
And last but not least, we have the guy at the gatehouse who is trying desperately to get the door open. He manages to get the inside door of the gatehouse open, and he is going to move through the gatehouse, 5, 10, and he starts fumbling with the bar and the lock, and he manages to get the front gate of the gatehouse unlocked and open, but that takes his whole turn. He is now inside of the gatehouse, and it is Cilvy's turn. Cilvy, you are still connected to this woman with your witch bolt. She is definitely bloodied and hurting.
And she's running away, though, correct?
No, she's attacking Ornan.
Wait, sorry. I thought I was attached to... Sorry, I think I was looking at the wrong person.
Yeah, she's attacking Ornan. Ornan is just right next to her.
Gotcha. Okay. And she's looking pretty bloodied, though?
She is looking very rough, yes.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, you're not going to love me for doing this. But, Cilvy will hold off, and instead Cilvy will just kind of come up so she can have a little bit of a better view of things.
Do what you want. You don't have to change because of what Ornan's done.
Oh, no, but
we care about Ornan.
Well, yeah, and I don't think that, I want to kill these people. I think that Cilvy's done enough damage at this point, so I think that she's going to hold off until, I'm just going to hold off for now.
You're still connected, but you don't actually activate it?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Perfect. All right. We skipped Neldor somehow. He's going to move 5, 10, 15, 20. He's going to move down into the doorway, this main doorway of the keep as well, to help out Ornan. And he is going to try to shield bash this thug, the one who is looking really, really hurt. And that is going to hit and deal 4 damage which is not quite enough. She makes a strength save, and she makes it so she does not fall down. Then we have a spear attack non-lethally, which is going to hit, and there is no way he cannot knock her out because she had 1 hit point left.
Nice.
And then with his last bit of movement, he's going to step over her body and try to do a non-lethal stab at this other thug who is threatening Ornan. That is going to be a miss. That's only a 9. That is his turn. Ornan, you are rounding out the initiative order of this round. What are you going to do? You got a thug right in front of you.
Yep, I'm going to attack him. The first one is a 22 to hit.
That'll hit.
For 7. And the second one is an also 22.
Yeah.
For 13 this time.
Nice. This guy is bloodied after those 2 hits.
And Ornan's going to say, "We're just looking for Megan. Tell us where she is."
Okay. That is now going to bring us back to the top of the initiative with Mawgrim. Mawgrim, what are you going to do? You got your dagger.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to come out here. I come through here past Ornan.
So you're going to move like down towards those double doors and then move out past him into the courtyard?
Yeah, and it's try and attack the guy that is right in front of Ornan.
Yeah, that's how that works. You kind of jump down off the stairs and you can kind of attack him from behind. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, we're going to try that. Come on, non-lethal. 19. All right.
That'll hit. Yeah.
For 6 piercing damage.
Nice. All right. 6 piercing damage. This guy is now hurting even more. There are still 2 people standing besides the woman who dropped her bow and gave up. Guy, that's your turn. You are standing up on the northern rampart next to this knocked out archer. Probably Annelise has just passed you on the stairs going down into the courtyard. You can see that there is 1 thug still threatening Ornan, and you can see kind of into the gatehouse that there is another, like a bandit who has just thrown open both gates and is about ready to flee out of the fortress.
Okay. Guy's going to go ahead and move like 15 feet to the top of this little landing at the top of the stairs on the northern rampart. Mm-hmm. And then he's going to use his bonus action to pass between.
Okay.
So he's going to pass between right in front of this, the fleeing bandit.
Okay.
And he's going to pull out the fan and he will say, "Before you go, tell us where Megan is." And then I'm going to hit him.
Okay.
Or attempt to hit him at least. A 17 to hit.
That'll hit.
For 10 non-lethal slashing damage.
This guy is on death's door. This guy has 1 hit point left. You guys are fighting a bunch of wieners. Okay. We'll see what he does on his turn. Neldor's turn. He's going to try to shield bash this thug that's been threatening Ornan. He is going to hit. That is going to be 5 damage. This guy is now very, very hurt. And he is knocked prone, so now a spear attack with advantage from Neldor against this prone target is going to hit with a 16, and that is going to be 4 damage, which is enough to knock this guy out. There is 1 guy still standing, and he is the one trying to escape the fort next to Guy. Prevalent Annelise is going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. She can't quite make it to go try to help Guy and still be able to like make an attack. She is going to move up behind him anyway. So she has now used her dash action to stand behind the bandit. So now this bandit has Guy in front of him, which is like technically on the outside of the fort. And we have Annelise is in the gatehouse behind him, blocking him in. Cilvy, you're still inside the keep. You're the only one who's still inside the keep. You can see that this woman who dropped her bow, she's kind of looking around. She sees you, and...
Hey, you don't want to mess with this. You can't handle the smoke or the fire.
Or the bloodhound.
She rolled a natural 1, so she is going to just like sit down on the ground and like put her head in her hands and start to cry. Okay.
Oh man, it's almost worse than killing them, making them cry.
Honestly, same girl.
that brings us now to the guy who's got 1 hit point left, and he kind of he's got 1 hit point. He's about ready to get clobbered, and he is surrounded by Guy and Annelise. Let me make a check for him. He drops his swords, raises up his hands, puts his hands on his head, and he says, "Megan left us. She's not here." And then he's like, "It's over, isn't it?" And we are going to cue victory music.
It's all ogre now.
I love how the other beefy guy just slept through the whole thing.
He is downstairs sleeping away.
Just sawing logs with Pranciple just watching his door.
He is locked into that room with rope. Ingenious. All right. You guys are standing here in the fort. You guys have managed to subdue everybody or get them to give up. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 unconscious, knocked out folks. You've got 2 disarmed people, and you've got a locked up berserker in the basement. At this point, the keep is yours. What are you guys going to do with these bandits now that you have taken over the fort and Megan is nowhere to be seen? We'll find out next time when we get together again. Whew.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Wow.
That was intense.
That was intense.
Fighting wieners is hard when you can't kill them.
That's what I always say. We should put that on a t-shirt. Fighting wieners is hard when you can't kill them.
That's right. If only I could have beat these wieners to death, that would have been so much easier.
FWIH.
Fighting wieners is hard when you can't kill them. No fear.
FWIH.
Oh gosh.
WCKT. There you go.
gosh.
There you go, chicken.
Oh my gosh. All right. You guys, I should get a half point for that because I came up with the phrase that needs to be an acronym.
Really looking for scraps.
I am. All right. So one more thing I'll say before we actually finish for tonight. As you guys wrap up in here, you guys are kind of surveying the damage. Mawgrim and Ornan, you guys are standing kind of on this main staircase that goes from the courtyard up into the keep. And Mawgrim, you're standing on the ground, kind of on the north side of the staircase. You can see built into the staircase is another staircase that goes down into the earth. You have found the entrance to the haunted basement here at the Bandit Fortress. We'll have to see what that brings next time. Anyway, guys, well, thank you for playing. You guys have managed to defuse the bandits here in the Bandit Fortress. Who knows what awaits in the basement? I do.
Completely redeemed ourselves for killing so many people.
Now they can be processed and, have a right to an attorney and go through all of the right steps.
Yes.
And which this is medieval justice, so the right steps might still just be a hanging.
It's literally just Nandor. Neldor. Sorry.
All right. Oh gosh. If you guys like what we're doing, then go rate us, give us a nice glowing review. Don't forget, we have a Patreon if you want to see what the Bandit Fortress actually looks like, the maps. Then you can become a patron at a certain tier, and you can see those for yourself. And until we get together next time, we hope you have a great time.